Hi, everybody. Um, it is time for a stuck at home project. And so I would like to talk to you about journaling. Um, Journaling is something that many artists, whether you're a writer or somebody that likes to draw or you like to create anything, you just write ideas down and then that comes up with new ideas. And sometimes my students think that they have to have their idea, right the first time. Well, that's not what most artists do. They have to think and think and think, and then maybe an idea they came up with, last month, they're like, oh, that is a good idea. So they have some way to write that idea down and then go back to it. So I wanted to talk to you a little bit about how to make a journal. So one of the easiest things to do to make a little journal is just taking a piece of paper and you just fold it any way you want. And then you have yourself a little journal with a couple pages on it, okay? And you could, rip a couple of these to create multiple pages. And I think there's tutorials out there on how to make like an 8-page like folded journal. And maybe I'll find that so you can make one of those just from a regular piece of paper, okay? But one thing I started thinking is we sometimes get magazines still, and newspapers and things like that. And there are ways that you can just make those into a fun journal. So I have this magazine here that that we got the other day, and I covered it with a piece of paper, and you can still kind of see like what magazine it is. But all I did was I covered it up with a glue stick, and I thought maybe I might trace this because I have 3 kids and I'll just have an outline of them. That might be kind of cool, and I might put my own name at the top. And if you do want to glue something like that, I have a heavy book here, and I'm just going to set that on top for a day. See if you can see that. And then that's going to keep the pages from curling up. Okay, so if you have, your book bag or something like that that you want to just your backpack put on that, you can do that. And then to get a straight edge on that paper, if you don't have scissors, you can just fold it. Or some of you have watched Mrs. Mendlich's videos, and she talked about tearing things, and you can do that, and you can see that tear didn't, tear straight, which I'm not worried about because I think this might be a pocket, okay? So if you want to cover, pages up, it's kind of cool, but if I slide this in here and I were to glue that, then I might have a little pocket that I can keep things, okay? Now, what can I do on this? Well, I could draw. Maybe I find other things from the magazine. Maybe I want to tear some of these out and cut things out. Some of you might have things from home, and you have different colored paper, and you can just start tearing paper. And what can you do with torn paper? Well, you can see I'm tearing around certain things, and it looks like this side is blank, so I could actually use this for something else. But now I have all these little pieces of torn paper, and I could fit them together to make things, and that would be kind of like a mosaic. And maybe I would make a different tutorial for that because this is getting kind of long. But, if you want to make something, this is starting to look like a little bit of a fish, maybe I move some of these around because some of these look like fins. My fingers have glue on them. Let's see. turn this one maybe like this. And that one looks like the head. And here's another fin. So I have myself a little fish, and I don't want to hold it up because it'll all fall over. Maybe I can go like this. So it's starting to look like a fish, or maybe it's a bird, okay? But I could glue those to the front, and I could create something. I could write a little piece on there. And there's all these pages in here, you know, so that could become, you know, your journal, okay? So I look forward to seeing if any of you create a journal and what your ideas might be, okay?